Hey ladies, happy Monday. Cannot believe we are in the last Monday and final week of April. Like, this month has flown by, even though we are all quarantined and in crazy times. I don't know about you, but for me, it's flown by, and it's been a great, exciting month, and I want to end it with a bang. Now is not the time to be like, oh, I hit Success Club, like, time to chill, relax. Like, no, this is not an all-day job. This is a everyday job, but just a little bit at a time. So like, now let's end April together with a bang. I see some people hopping on, so I just wanted to come in here and give a few of the tips that I use when I have a coach sneak peek. And they are just things that I picked up, one, from watching other coaches and they're like listening to trainings, and two, by trial and error. We all know this is a learn as you go business, and I feel like I can share stuff with you because I have failed so many times and have said the wrong things and have done the wrong things. So I've just learned through trial and error. So even if you feel like you're going to mess up, even if you're going to feel like you're going to say the wrong thing to someone, like, who cares? Do it. You'll be better next month and the next time you do it. So the first thing I always recommend doing, and you need to start doing it if you haven't already, is you need to have call to action posts. Like posts where you are literally telling your audience to do something with coaching. For me, I've had 4 call to action posts in the last week alone, where I've asked them, I've shared something about coaching, and then at the very end, I either say, message me for more information, or drop an emoji below. And guess what? Not many people do it, but it's like they see that call to action and it registers in their head that I'm asking them to do something. So even though they don't interact with it that much, like, people are still listening and they're still watching, and like in their brain, I know this sounds so weird, but like they are in some way. And especially people are liking those posts. So that's open range for me to be like, hey, I saw you liked my post last night. Not sure if you're giving it some love, but I would love to get you plugged in the coach sneak peek. Either way, just let me know. And like, that's what I've done just now. I just went through all my posts of people who I have not reached out to yet and just invited them. I just went through my whole boot camp of challengers who are currently crushing it and being like, hey, we have this coach sneak peek coming up. You are doing awesome. You would be an amazing coach. Come do this. I went through just everyone who's been watching my stories. So like, there's literally an endless list of people to invite if you are sharing about it, if you're doing call to action posts and polls in your story and just talking about it. So that's what you have to do first. You can't just magically hope someone coaches with you if you never ever talk about it. So then you just invite, like I just shared, all those just simple invites, and they're so easy. Coach sneak peeks are my favorite invites because they're literally, I'm not asking them to do anything besides being added to a group. Like, I'm not asking them to buy a challenge pack or to share their whole life struggle with me about their health journey or to do this. Like, for me, coach sneak peek invites are like, hey, come listen. Hey, if you don't catch it on Wednesday night, then you can watch the recording on your own time, and it's just super chill and laid back. And then once they say yes or whatever they say, I always ask them, okay, well, what makes you interested in coaching? Or just kind of take it a step further so you can kind of gauge why are they interested in doing this? Are they, interested in for the discount? Some say like, oh, I'm really curious about like all your trips and your travels. Some say they just are interested in because they love health and fitness themselves. So always ask once you get in yes, like, sweet, here, just say like, what are you interested in? Then the next thing I have learned to do, instead of just going to this coach sneak peek group and adding them to it, I always send them the link instead, because one, that puts initiative on them to invite themselves into the group. And that's just them taking one step further to showing you that, hey, I'm going to show up in this group and I want to be a part of it and see what you're actually doing it, rather than me just adding them to the group and they don't have to do anything. So I have found that small tweak when I go and get people started in the coach sneak peek has been huge for engagement. If they go and add themselves to the coach sneak peek, they're definitely going to be watching the videos and engaging somewhat with the videos. So I send them the link for them to request, and that way, like, they will answer the coach questions of, we have 2 questions, which I think it's like, why, who is your coach, and then what makes you interested in coaching. And then I always tag them in the welcome post, which for our sneak peek will be going up tonight. So I tag all my coaches or all my potential coaches in the welcome post and just be like, would love to hear from you. Hey, start right here. Hey, share with me a little bit about yourself right here. Just to get them involved and going. The more interaction that they have with the group, the more that they're going to see in the group, and the more that they're going to see like me in the group and other girls, other coaches in the group. So they're just getting involved with the community when I start tagging them in posts. And then on Wednesday night, 30 minutes or an hour before, whenever you can do it, before the actual sneak peek. So ours is at 8:30 p.m. So around 8, after my kids go to bed, I'm going to message all the girls that I have in that Coach Sneak Peek and just say, hey, I'm so excited. Just a reminder, the Coach Sneak Peek starts in 30 minutes. I hope I see you on there tonight. But if you cannot make it, just watch them when you can on your own time. And one, that reminds them that, hello, like it's tonight, get on. And two, you are just carrying that dialogue and conversation with them. So it's not so weird when like the next day or the next few days when you come back and be like, hey, how did it all go? Like you've been constantly talking to them since you've invited them into the group. So it's just another piece where you're communicating with them and being upfront with like what's going on. So, and then of course I always tag them in the first video. So like the number one, which is like, what is a coach? I just make sure they always see it, because some people just don't even know how groups run. And some people don't get notified when like a live video happens in a group. So I always like to tag my new coaches in that first video. So then that they know, okay, this is video 1, there's a second video, a third video, a fourth video. So these are just like, they're kind of common sense things, but also things that are we can easily just forget to do but make a big difference. Okay, so then they watch all the videos, hopefully. Maybe they don't watch them that night, but I always like to follow up within 24 hours. And I just like to say, hey, did you get a chance to watch the videos? Did anything resonate with you, or did anything stick out? If you have any questions, I'm here for you. And, just see what they say. A lot of times, just for me, like, a lot of my girls don't get to watch it that night, but they'll be like, oh, I'll definitely watch it by this time. So then I make sure to follow up with again. And then the last thing I always make sure to do is I give them a deadline, not saying like, hey, you have to sign up by this date or you can't sign up. But usually like for this sneak peek, I will probably say to all my girls, hey, listen, if you sign up by Friday, then I'm going to offer you a free tank top out of our new Coach shop, which I probably will. Or in the past I've done like, hey, if you sign up by Friday, I'll send you 5 packets of Energize. Like I use it every day before my workouts and every afternoon when I sit down for nap time hustle. So just like giving them a deadline of like, if you do this, then by this time. So it just kind of puts a time clock on it rather than this open-ended, never-ending time frame. So those are just a few of the simple things I do. And the most important thing I think through this all is just like to be their friend, to be in constant communication with them, because that's where the biggest disconnect used to be in my Coach Sneak Peeks. I would invite them, they would say yes, and then I would just leave it all up in the next couple of days, not talk to them, which, it's not that I didn't want to talk to them. I would just get busy and I would forget to talk to them and then wouldn't follow up with them until a few days after. And some of them were ready to go and some people were they're not, and they didn't have it was just not right timing. And so all that to say that these things won't magically make someone sign up if they're not ready, but I have found it does a lot better with just building that relationship and that trust with you as their coach. And you're showing them that, hey, if I sign up with her, she's going to be there for me because she's been there for me every step of this way so far. And I know that I can depend on her and that she fully believes in this. So I hope that made sense. Just to recap, the call to action posts, invites, send them the link to request a group. Don't send it to them or don't invite them. Tag them in the welcome post, message them 30 minutes before the sneak peek kicks off. Tag them in the first video so they see the first video, follow up within the next day, and then offer an incentive to sign up by a certain date. So of course you don't have to do any of those things, but those are just what I have found to work the best. Hi guys, I see a lot of people are on. So if there's anything else that you guys have questions on or anything, please let me know now or say hi. What else did I want to say? I feel like there's a lot going on. But it's all a good thing. Let's keep ending April strong because people need this more than ever. So, all right, awkward ending. Peace out, team.